Hi everyone. It's been a while since my last video, so now that I have some free time to myself, I thought, why not post something? So today I wanted to do a little showcase of a mod I completed maybe a couple of months ago. So this is Crossing Olympus by Peter Emerson. So basically, it's your standard board with cards and, of course, your miniature. And you'll notice the miniature is pretty cool, high detail. So that's something that you can't just do with a regular OBJ, but we can probably talk about that in some other video. But yeah, hopefully you can see that there is a tremendous amount of detail in this little miniature right here of Zeus. And then you have these standees. Now, this is where this mod, this TTS mod really stands out from other mods I've worked on at least, are these standees. So these are custom standees, of course. They're not just 3D models. They're actually one component. Like, so every standee is its own component. So it's not something that I mashed together. I took a 3D file of the tile, essentially, right? Or the standee, and then you'll have the clip-on base, and of course the clip at the top. So all of that's been done within Unity. So basically, this is an asset bundle. Each of these is an asset bundle. And then yeah, that's the only way that I thought I could make the clips actually move. So of course you can do this with a normal 3D object, an OBJ. You can have you can set up like snap points on top of that that tile essentially, where the clip could actually snap. And that can be done for sure, with some cheating, with some, clever use of TTS. I shouldn't say cheating, it's just clever use of TTS, right? But of course, that may run into some problems that, if, say, components get nudged over, or they fall, or whatever, that clip could be displaced, right? So the reason why I went for this treatment, wherein I actually use an asset bundle as opposed to separate 3D objects, is because it's one entity, right? So essentially, I can just drop it, whatever, and then the clip and essentially the base won't ever get displaced, right? So I guess the next question for everybody is, how the heck do you move the clip at the top, which helps you keep track of HP. So each of the standees has different amounts of HP. So each one actually had to be coded sort of separately. I mean, I tried to make it as modular as possible, of course, but every single one needed to be coded separately. So yeah, how does it work? So basically, just mouse over any of your standees, do a right click. Of course, I can't see that if the UI is turned off. Okay, so we can do a right click, and then you'll see that there are contextual menus right here that are scripted for each of the standees. So you can move your HP up, or you can move your HP down, as denoted by the plus and the minus signs right there. So of course, if you have HP plus, it won't move anywhere, right? And then HP minus, boom, 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 which is kind of cool. And of course, it never goes below 1. So once you have to go below 1, then I guess the standee's dead. That character is dead, and you basically just take it off the board. But yeah, there you go. Essentially very cool, right? So you can just spam that. It only works in increments of 1, but luckily each character has at most 7 of the HP, so it's not really a big deal to move those up and down so many times, right? And yeah, and basically if you have that, you can toss it around, you can flip it around like that or whatever, and it will never move until you actually do the right click thing, the contextual menu thing. See, it's still at 5. It's all cool. All right. So yeah, this is kind of cool too, because the opposite ends, basically, they had to correspond to each other, right? So a 10 on one side should be a 10 on the other side so that the other player can actually see it. So that was pretty cool, and was something, I mean, it's not challenging, but it's something to consider, of course, when creating these things, that the 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 front number is the same as the back number for these things. So yeah, very, very cool. And thank you so much to Peter for allowing me to work on Crossing Olympus and working on some nifty components, right? Unique to the game. So yeah, essentially, I do want to feature some more stuff that I made for TTS. Some cool components that people might be interested in seeing, especially since some people, they're coming up with all of these mods and games that have very interesting components, right? Transparent cards or what have you that slide or whatever, or yeah, standees that look like this, or miniatures that have detachable components and all of that stuff, and they're all very interesting. And you know that that is my kind of thing with TTS. Whenever you have unique components that you can't just create willy-nilly, and require some thought and some, I guess, implementation know-how in order to do. And I really enjoy making these things. So yeah, hopefully that foreshadows something in the future that I wish to show. I mean, again, so this is sort of necessary, right, for Peter's game to have something like this. But there are some things that I have implemented recently that are completely not needed, but otherwise are very, very cool nonetheless. And I'm really looking forward to sharing those with you in upcoming videos. But for now, yeah, hopefully the channel is a little bit more lively now with this new upload. So yeah, glad to be back sort of in some capacity. I will try to make more of these videos. If you do have any questions or any thoughts or whatever on TTS mods, be sure to hit me up. Be sure to join and look at the Facebook group, Digital Board Game Labs. And yeah, I'll be posting this video there as well. So until then, until the next video, until the next showcase, thanks everybody, and happy designing and happy modding.